Each one of us is the hero and the heroine of our own story. You are the main character in your life story. And when we arrive to Earth, let's pretend the following statement is a fact. Just pretend that we are spiritual beings by nature, having this very embodied human experience on planet Earth, of which I would assert is a school. It is a school for learning. It is a school for healing. It is a school for playing, for exploring, for enjoying, for being useful. And we're here mainly on an adventure to learn and unlearn and heal and grow and evolve and play and explore. So, like any great character in a book or a movie, right? Think of any Star Wars fans here? Or any Harry Potter fans, or it could be an autobiography, or a biography, Helen Keller fans, right? Like you name it. All great stories have a main character that you're tracking, you're following. Whoops, let's bring someone else in. And what happens to the main character in these stories that we love so much? Well, they go on their own adventure, right? There are joys that typically it starts off with there's an innocence, right? For the character's adventure. They go through their childhood, then usually something happens. There is an experience that they have that really rocks their world. And then they go on a quest. Adventurers go on quests. And along their quest, they accumulate some friends. There's inevitably going to be some villains that show up. There are going to be maybe some magic amulets, there's going to be a trajectory of travel. There are going to be joys. There are going to be wounds. And so I like this story because I think it really describes so beautifully the journey that each of us is on. That each one of you is the hero or the heroine of your storyline. And along the way, along with all the joys and the ecstasies and the intimacies and the awe of life, we experience challenges. And when we experience challenges, they typically will fall in the categories of core soul wounds. And there are 5 core soul wounds. There are more, but the 5 core ones are the following: betrayals, injustices, abandonments, rejections, humiliations. And so as we go through our childhood into young adulthood, into adulthood, there's a first core soul wound that happens typically by the time we're 6. And for many of us, that often becomes, now think of like if I'm looking at you through my clear lens. You've seen those orange glasses that are amazing. Like they help block the blue light. So maybe that's not a good color. Let's pretend betrayal is my core soul wound. And now I have a tint of green over my lens. So everything now that I experience, I'm going to be seeing through green lens. And as I evolve, as I get older, as I go through more adventures, I'm going to be perceiving life through my green lens, through the lens of betrayals happen. I get betrayed. You're on lookout. You're on alert for that. So we experience all 5 core soul wounds. You just may find that one had a bit more of a stronger predominant theme in your life story. And so the purpose of Sacred Sunday is one of many modalities that is like a lens cloth. It on its own, without any force or pressure or expectation, it starts to cleanse our lenses so that we can experience, perceive, and receive the play of consciousness in the way that life appears clearly. So we're not interpreting life through green lens. We're experiencing the truth of life in moment by moment, the living moment at play, exactly as it appears. So until we find processes that help remove the tint of our wounds, that's mainly the lens through which we're operating from. We are either experiencing the living moment at play exactly as it appears, truthfully, or we're experiencing it through the lens of interpretation. Those are two very different worlds.